The execution of Liberation Day was pathetic.
You know what else? Brett Baier had a beautiful graphic. I might frame it on my wall that had the approval ratings for the last 6 presidents for the first 100 days. Donald Trump is now the lowest.
I can't wait to see how they spin this one. I mean, a Fox News poll, Trump's once prized megaphone, showing him this far underwater, that's gotta hurt.
President Trump plans to celebrate the 100th day of his second term with a rally in Michigan, but new numbers suggest voters are not pleased with the job he's done so far. According to the latest Fox News poll, overall approval of Trump's job performance comes in at 44%. That's down 5 points from 49% approval just last month in March.
And if you're wondering how the current president dealt with the news that once trusted viewers on Fox have turned on him in droves, well, it's exactly how you'd expect a serial liar and malignant narcissist to react, by attacking those voicing their disdain. Trump took to Truth Social to rant that Rupert Murdoch, who owns Fox News, of course, has, quote, told me for years that he's going to get rid of his Fox News Trump-hating fake pollster, but he has never done so. This pollster has gotten me and MAGA wrong for years.
His economic ratings have gone down by 20%. The American public don't trust him on cost of living, inflation, all the things he was hired to do. They know the tariffs are a tax on them. The CEOs of Walmart and Target and Home Depot have to go into his office and beg him to stop so that the shelves won't be empty. There are containers coming from China that can't get here because of these tariffs, 145%. Or maybe it's 50%.
What does this have to do with the Maryland dad?
Right.
It has to do with what Trump is doing. And there are all of these GOP appointed judges that are ruling against him, saying a path of perfect lawlessness, brazen example of retaliation.
Put it this way, you're just actually undoing your whole point, Jessica.
No, I'm not.
Because they are focusing on this guy who basically every day we find out. I don't know how he could be underwater. He might be under 50%, but he's not underwater on immigration.
Fine. Reuters, YouGov, Quinnipiac, just honestly,
he's winning on deportation. You admitted that.
But
right.
2-1 that this guy should be returned. Listen,
keep defending a gangbanger all you want.
But you're saying they should emphasize the economy. That's what you're saying.
I understand that you want me to try to unravel everything that I said. The economy is what drives people to the polls. He now only has a 27% rating with Hispanic voters because he's not focused on the economy and their costs haven't gone down.
So, I mean, I've been in finance for 40 years. This is probably the biggest manufactured crisis I've seen with a bunch of unforced errors. The execution of Liberation Day was pathetic. I mean, you have Kevin Hassett in 2019 be very clear, trade wars are bad, tariffs are a tax. Steve Moore, another Trump advisor, trade wars are bad, tariffs are a tax. The GOP, tariffs are a tax, trade wars are bad, we're for free trade. You saw April until, for the most part, the president blinked both on Fed Chairman Powell, which I'm glad, as well as the China trade war. Then the markets recovered somewhat, but it was on for the worst month since 1932.
Said poll that got him so uptight showed him with merely 44% overall approval rating after just 100 days into his presidency, a point lower than the figure he posted at the same checkpoint in his first term. And notably, he was far below the mark that Fox polling had found former presidents such as Joe Biden and even Barack Obama, the president that Fox hosts wanted impeached for wearing a tan suit.
President talking tariffs and the economy. If you look at our new Fox News poll at 100 days job approval compared to other presidents, there you see the president at 44%, and you see his first term at 45%. You've looked at these. What strikes you?
Well, a couple of things. There's a list of issues that we asked people what they felt about, and the president is underwater in all but one, and that one is the border. Where he's got high approval on that, majority approval, he's above water. Everything else, including immigration, which for some reason was separated from the border in this particular poll, he's a little bit underwater on immigration. He's way down right at the moment on the economy, and even way down further on tariffs, which are, of course, part of that. So, foreign policy rating isn't good, and so on. My thought about this is not really unexpected in my view, Brett. His overall approval rating, as you noted earlier, is 44%. So much of what he's undertaken remains a work in progress.
And if this isn't indicative of how his second term is going, then I don't know what is. People, even those once willfully cocooned off from reality on Fox, are no longer buying the snake oil. 33% approved of Trump's tariffs, a topic that even Elon is jumping ship over.
And a staggering 71% drop in profits in the first quarter. The electric car giant blaming the growing trade war and, quote, changing political sentiment, which could have a meaningful impact on demand for our products in the near term.
I just want to emphasize that the tariff decision is entirely up to the President of the United States. I will weigh in with my advice with the President, which he will listen to my advice, but then it's up to him, of course, to make his decision. I've been on the record many times as saying that I believe lower tariffs are generally a good idea for prosperity. But this decision is fundamentally up to the elected representative of the people, being the President of the United States. So, I'll continue to advocate for lower tariffs rather than higher tariffs, but that's all I can do.
The man is underwater, so it's no wonder that Murdoch wants to jump ship too, albeit he helped build and keep said ship afloat. But still, it shows how far removed Trump is from reality, that despite his lies about China.
Confronted with China pouring cold water on Donald Trump's version of reality, Trump said this.
Yeah, please. A question on China. Can you clarify with whom the U.S. is speaking with China? They're saying it's fake news that trade talks are happening.
Well, they had a meeting this morning, so I can't tell you. It doesn't matter who they is. We may reveal it later, but they had meetings this morning, and we've been meeting with China. And so I think you have, Jeff, as usual, I think you have your reporting wrong. Thank you very much. We'll see you.
They just doesn't include China in the U.S., according to China. New York Times reports this, quote, in private, some Trump officials concede that they did not accurately predict China's reaction. Trump seemed to expect China to be among the first to come begging for relief, given the size of its exports to the U.S.
近来美方不断是有消息称中美之间正在谈判，甚至将会达成协议。请问您能否证实双方有没有开始谈判？
这些都是假消息。据我了解，中美双方并没有就关税问题进行磋商或谈判，更谈不上达成协议。这场关税战是由美方发起的，中方的态度是一贯的、明确的，打奉陪到底，谈大门敞开。对话谈判必须是平等、尊重、互惠的。
Groceries, inflation coming down. People are fed up.
Contributing to Trump's underwater start, voter disapproval on every single one of his policies except the border. According to New York Times analysis, Trump's job approval has been on a steady downward trajectory now for months. But so far, the Trump administration is not backing down on anything.
I think good is to one day say, tough talk on China. You're charging us now 145%. It's not going to be that way. And, we're going to threaten you.
That's what I wanted to hit on.
Right.
If it's not going to be that way, then
what
tell
is
us
it?
what it is going to be.
And if anything, they're having buyer's remorse.
Do you think this is the dry hole we're portraying it as, or do you see some benefit for the Democrats continuing to get behind this guy?
Well, there's definitely benefit to it. And that doesn't mean that I don't think the majority of the emphasis should be on the economy. But if you look at our own latest polling, the Fox poll that came out yesterday, Reuters, YouGov, Quinnipiac, now Donald Trump is underwater on immigration, which was his strongest issue. So he's above on the border, right, and deportations. But generally speaking on immigration, he's underwater. 2-to-1 margins in the YouGov poll that Americans think that Albrego Garcia should be brought back here.
Because they're not getting the information.
No, it's not because they're not getting the information. What they were able to do, actually, is understand contextually what is going on here. So if it's not just about Albrego Garcia, it is about...
What was the question? What was the poll question? I guarantee you...
Now you're a pollster?
No, I'm just saying, I guarantee you it was worded in a way to get an intended answer.
I can guarantee you that our own polling that showed him underwater on immigration was fair, and that the American public thinks that his policies are too harsh.
Love this video? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch and help us blow past 1 million followers.